While you were in Davos, it was so long Google Glass, hello HoloLens. Microsoft has just unveiled an augmented reality headset that lets you see virtual objects around you as if they existed in real space. Basically, it's a computer you can wear on your face. Anand Srinivasan is a Bloomberg Intelligence Technology Analyst, and he says, quote, Microsoft has become relevant again. Anand, we're talking about Microsoft because earnings are out after the bell today. But this looks pretty interesting. I mean, this is the kind of innovative new thing we expect to see from Google. Is
Exactly.
Microsoft cool again?
You know, this is Microsoft become part and parcel of many conversation up and down the product stack, whether it's software, whether it's hardware, whether it's cloud. Microsoft is being talked off in those conversations, which didn't happen several years ago. So the HoloLens is actually a cool product. It's a neat little product. From a revenue impact, let's not hold our breath. But it is an interesting product amid all of the sea change that we've seen from Google Glass, from all the other wearables, from Oculus, et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that they're in the mix is interesting.
Okay, so it's exciting they got some of their groove back, but people are looking at Microsoft's consumer hardware division and saying, you got to sell the Xbox. What's the point of making a headset? That's not where the money comes from. Absolutely.
So Microsoft is making a large pivot from traditional software to cloud-based software.
Right.
And you want to see continued momentum in that space. But at the end of the day, the Microsoft bread is buttered on Windows, and it's still buttered on Office.
Here's the reality. I saw one Microsoft phone at Davos. Susan Athey Stanford had one. I didn't see a single Surface. I mean, they've got them in the NFL, but nobody uses them.
Look,
when are they going to get rid of this stuff and be like adults?
The Surface is actually a great product, very badly priced. So for the past 2 years...
How much is the Surface?
The Surface runs well into the $1,200 range.
Are you going to look for a price reduction in the earnings announcements today in conference call?
I think that's a little bit too much to ask for from a product strategy perspective on the earnings conference call. But from a product perspective, one of the things that's actually helping Microsoft is that the PC has become relevant again.
Okay, they got a honeymoon. Bring up the chart here. This is Microsoft. It's been great. Let's call it the Bomber Rally. Okay, fine. But with all this and with the Surface and the NFL and all that, what do you expect to see today to drive the financial story forward?
So you don't want to see mishaps as they pivot from traditional software to cloud. And companies have
doing an IBM.
So software companies are making this pivot. Sometimes there's a hiccup, sometimes there is not. So you do not want to see the hiccup. You want to see cloud infrastructure and cloud software-based sales growing rapidly, well enough to offset any declines in traditional software. So that's number one.
They got $89 billion in cash. I want action today. Am I going to get it?
So on a... Look, this is we've talked about this across all of tech. There's a lot of cash, a lot of it is offshore. You bring it back, you get dinged on taxes. You have to use it for large-scale M&A outside of the U.S., which is hard because you don't have targets that big, that matter. Yeah. So it's sort of a darned if you do, darned if you don't scenario.
We're expecting to see a $9 billion bump in revenue. Where's that coming from?
So a bulk of that is going to traditionally come from Office and Windows, which has seen some strength, but you also want to see that come from the cloud.
They have 4.5% long-term debt. I think it's absolutely irresponsible. What's not only Microsoft, but what some of these companies are doing. I'm going to play Mr. Mario Gabelli. Where's my money?
Look, so what the alternative is you raise a lot of debt and you use that debt to finance buybacks of stock to help offset any non-U.S. cash. But the problem with that is we've seen this in tech time and time again. Companies are not good at buying back their stock. So are not good at it. So the relative returns on buyback is poor.
Fair.
So what do you do in that situation? And these are large companies with a lot of cash, and they're not large enough M&A targets that they can use that cash.
Olivia, does Bill Belichick use a Surface?
I believe so. Yes, he does.
He's got the deflation app.
I'm not sure if there's an app exactly for that.
He has a deflation app. He's just economics, not,
We're gonna get some fan mail about this one. Anand Srinivasan, thank you so much. Anand Srinivasan, who covers tech for us at Bloomberg Intelligence.